The chandelier's a cold fist of glass pressed to my windpipe. My shirt collar reeks of starch and the copper of a bitten lip. Each pleasure to meet you is a sliver of skin pulled from my palm. I am tallying the crumbs in my pocket to an order of room. My palms are slabs of marble, sweating against your tailored sleeve. The gauge in my chest is bleeding red into the marrow of my spine. 6 syllables left before the fuse wire turns to ash. I am a hollowed out cathedral where the candles just went out. Guest laughter cracks like a shovel, hid in a buried stone. I am pressing my thumb into the soft spot of my temple to keep the walls upright. The mahogany banister is drinking the heat from my fingertips. Your smile is a bill I cannot settle with the air in my lungs. My palms are slabs of marble, sweat against your tailored sleeve. The gauge in my chest is bleeding red into the marrow of my spine. 6 syllables left before the fuse wire turns to ash. I am a hollowed out cathedral where the candles just went out. For the oxygen is being sipped through a rusted straw. 3, 2, I am a locked safe in a burning building. 1, 0, the copper has turned to lead in my mouth. Everything I owe you is written in the dirt on the floor. My palms are slabs of marble, sweating against your tailored sleeve. The gauge in my chest is bleeding red into the marrow of my spine. 6 syllables left before the fuse wire turns to ash. I am a hollowed out cathedral where the candles just went out. No. Are still on, but the house is vacant. Cold palms. Graphite snaps, leaving a jagged silver rut in the yoke. My knuckles are the blue of a bruise that refuses to bloom. I'm shading in the doorway where the air feels like cold iron. The fridge hums a frequency that vibrates my teeth into the jaw. The floorboards are hemorrhaging into the ink. This wick is a drowning man gulping for the draft. I'm marking the border where my skin stops feeling the heat. Drafted lines in the dust, a sanctuary of salt. The tea has a skin on it, a stagnant gray eye in the cup. I've cordoned off the hallway, it's a throat I won't walk down. My stamina is a single match, vibrating in a glass jar. I'm drafting the coordinates of where I cease to exist for you. The floorboards are hemorrhaging into the ink. This wick is a drowning man gulping for the draft. I'm marking the border where my skin stops feeling the heat. Drafted lines in the dust, a sanctuary of salt. It isn't a siege, it's a census of what's left. Each red X on the carpet is a prayer for my marrow. The perimeter is stinging, a circle drawn with a shaking hand. Candle is bowing, its spine made of liquid glass. The floorboards are hemorrhaging into the ink. This wick is a drowning man gulping for the draft. I'm marking the border where my skin stops feeling the heat. Drafted lines in the dust, a sanctuary of salt. The graphite is under my fingernails. The map is the only thing holding up the walls. Don't cry. I'm dragging the gypsum sheets across the marrow. White dust settling on the polished leather of my shoes. Every hammer blow echoes in the hollow of my clavicle. The 6-inch blade smooth in the mud over the seams of where we spoke. It's not a cage, just a silence I can breathe in. 2 inches of gray fiberboard between my poles and the street. Let the neighbors scream into the density of the fiberglass. I am the architect of the quietest room in the city. The copper wiring is live, but the bulbs are all shattered. I can feel the vibration of the subway through my molars. One more layer of board and the screeching turns to humming. My lungs are coated in the chalk of 1,000 unsaid things. It's not a cage, just a silence I can breathe in. 2 inches of gray fiberboard between my poles and the street. Let the neighbors scream into the density of the fiberglass. I am the architect of the quietest room in the city. Screw the metal studs into the soft part of the memory. The level says I'm leaning, but the floor is just a ghost. Third of the mallet to settle in of the foundation. The air is getting thick enough to hold me upright. It's not a cage, just a silence I can breathe in. 2 inches of gray fiberboard between my poles and the street. Let the neighbors scream into the density of the fiberglass. I am the architect of the quietest room in the city. Vertebrae notch into the groove of a scripted descent. My larynx is a lead weight suspended by a silver wire. The air between us tastes of press, lilies and cold grease. I offer a curvature of the lips to buy back my silence. The glass hinge swings but the window is brick shut. This smile is a deadbolt sliding into a rusted strike plate. I've calculated the arc of the head to keep the ghost inside. A polite nod is the sound of a closing casket. Your voice is a vibration on the surface of my silk vest. I count the floorboard nails to avoid the gravity of your pupils. The mask is polished with the salt of a dry well. A mechanical pulse thuds against the lining of my gloves. The glass hinge swings but the window is brick shut. This smile is a deadbolt sliding into a rusted strike plate. I've calculated the arc of the head to keep the ghost inside. A polite nod is the sound of a closing casket. The oil is leaking from the corner of my artificial eye. I am a clockwork man in a room full of warm blood. Every polite inquiry is a tooth pulled with rusted ply. The porcelain skin is cracking under the weight of your stare. The glass hinge swings but the window is brick shut. The smile is a deadbolt sliding into a rusted strike plate. I've calculated the arc of the head to keep the ghost inside. A polite nod is the sound of a closing casket. smile is a dead boat sliding into a rusted strike plate. I've calculated the arc of the head to keep the ghost inside. A polite nod is a sound of a closing casket. Click, click. The hinge is set, smooth, cold function. 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 The plastic reservoir goes, a mechanical swallow against the high-frequency whine of the ceiling panels. You describe the shoreline, and I adjust my jaw until the molars align like the tumblers of a locked safe. I peel my lips back, 6 millimeters of white enamel, a bleach fence hiding a yard full of thistle. The steam hits my septum, but I'm tasting the iron of a cellar that hasn't been aired in 30 years. Fluorescent tubes are vibrating at a pitch that rattles the calcium in my inner ear. I watch the carotid artery in your neck, a frantic little bird trapped under the starch of your button down. I'm measuring the distance to the door by the drip-drop rhythm of the leaking filter spout. My mind is a damp vault now, where the walls are made of cold slate and the air smells of wet wool. Don't ask for my input. The response is a pre-recorded loop playing in a hollowed out chest. My shadow is leaning against the back of my retinas, smoking a cigarette in the velvet dark. The light in this kitchenette is a serrated blade carving the silhouette of a person I'm currently haunting. My pulse is a heavy hammer hitting a stake into the soft mud of my own identity. Cup is a fever, burning a red ring into the callus of my thumb. I nod at your punchline, like you the jerk of a marionette with frayed twine and sawdust joints. I step back into the hall, the gray carpet swallowing the sound of my heels like quicksand. Just a suit full of echoes, clicking my polite teeth against the edge of the void. The bridge of my nose is a rusted hinge on a shuttered shop. You're polishing the display case with the wet heat of your breath. I've hung the close sign on the inside of my teeth. You're pointing at the wax-skin mannequin and calling them my kin. Exactly 2 meters back, the real territory begins. You're clawing at the storefront, but the glass won't even fall. I'm sitting in the shadows, watching the moss hit the light. Safe behind the thickness where the air is strictly mine. Hey, hey, hey. Your fingers leave grease swirls on the curve of my jawline. You think you felt the pulse, but that's just the radiator's hum. The pupils are just peepholes into a hallway lined with lead. I'm 2 paces further, where the floorboards don't bother to move. Exactly 2 meters back, the real territory begins. You're clawing at the storefront, but the glass won't even fall. I'm sitting in the shadows, watching the moths hit the light. Safe behind the thickness where the air is strictly mine. Reach for the throat, you'll find a velvet rope. Try to catch the eye, you'll hit a mirror's silverback. The merchandise is buried under floorboards made of bone. It's a long walk inward before you touch a living thing. Exactly 2 meters back, the real territory begins. You're clawing at the storefront, but the glass won't even fog. I'm sitting in the shadow, watching the moths hit the light. Safe behind the thickness where the air is strictly mine. Keep knocking on the enamel. I'm not in the window today, just the dust and the glass, just a yard and a half. The copper tang of a swallow never finished. A slurry of wet slate crawls up the spine's ladder. The radiator's third iron knob goes unanswered. It's filling the divots where the panic used to sit. Gray mortar flooding the craters of the ghost, leveling the ridges of the animal I used to host. A cold weight thickening, sealing the marrow shut. Silence isn't empty, it's the anchor that hit the floor and stayed. Your shouting is a feather hitting the furnace door. I watch the friction of your lips, but the air is stone. The fissures in my palms are smoothing into slate. A thumbprint on the surface wouldn't leave a ghost of a dent. Gray mortar flooding the craters of the ghost, leveling the ridges of the animal I used to host. A cold wave thickening, sealing the marrow shut. Silence isn't empty, it's the anchor that hit the floor and stayed. The chemical heat is the last breath of the fire, then the cooling, the curing, the permanent no. I am a monolith of everything I didn't say. The world is a rumor heard through a frozen mile of clay. Gray mortar flooding the craters of the ghost, leveling the ridges of the animal I used to host. A cold wave thickening, sealing the marrow shut. Silence isn't empty, it's the anchor that hit the floor and stayed. Gray mortar flooding the craters of the ghost, leveling the ridges of the animal I used to host. A cold wave thickening, sealing the marrow shut. Silence isn't empty, it's the anchor that hit the floor and stayed. Set firm. Cold slave, not a fingerprint left. Your mandible is a rusted hin, swinging through heavy oil. I am mapping the red fractures in your sclera while you pant. The fluorescent tube overhead is singing a flatter B flat than your voice. You're throwing anchors into a trench that swallows a lie. Every word you offer is a bubble dying on the surface. I'm 6 fathoms under, feeling the crush of the salt. Just a moving jaw, grinding the silence into grit. A frantic dance of meat and bone, weaving a shroud out of steam. You point at the ledger, but I see the way you spit pearls on your lip. That frantic twitch in your cheek is the only thing telling the truth. The problems you've carried are just pebbles in a suit pocket. I'm watching the rhythm of your teeth, a metronome for an empty room. Every word you offer is a bubble dying on the surface. I'm 6 fathoms under, feeling the crush of the salt. just a moving jaw, grinding the silence into grit, a frantic dance of meat and bone, weaving a shroud out of steam. My inner ear is a flooded basement where the copper wires fray. Your urgency is a vibration in the water, but the signal is lost. I am swaying like kelp in the draft of the air conditioner. The hydrostatic pressure is the only thing that feels like home. Every word you offer is a bubble dying on the surface. I'm 6 fathoms under, feeling the crush of the saw. Just a moving jaw, grinding the silence into grit, a frantic dance of meat and bone, weaving a shroud out of steam. I thumb the brass toggle till the click bites my skin. The anchor of your sentence snaps, drifting into the deep freeze. Your mouth is working like a landed trout on a dry dock. I'm tracing the blue vein where my pulse is a cold metronome. There's a solid static humming under my ribs, a frequency carved out of old scars and frozen marrow. The weight of the world, it's the perimeter and shatters. I'm a closed circuit now, burning in the holy quiet. The ceiling fan is a rusted blade cutting the heavy oxygen. I can hear my eyelids scrape like sandpaper when I blink. The news of the fire is just a low watt bulb flickering out. I'm nodding to the rhythm of the blood trapped in my left ear. There's a solid static humming under my ribs, a frequency carved out of old scars and frozen marrow. The weight of the world is the perimeter and shatters. I'm a closed circuit now, burning in the holy quiet. The demand for a word is a ghost knocking on a lead vault. Every nerve in it is alive while vibrating in a vacant lot. The copper taste of my own history is the only truth left. My skin is a map of places I no longer inhabit. There's a solid static humming under my ribs, a frequency carved out of old scars and frozen marrow. The weight of the world is the perimeter and shatters. I'm a closed circuit now, burning in the holy quiet. salt lick, static humming under my ribs. A frequency carved out of old scars and frozen marrow. The weight of the world is the perimeter and shatters. I'm a closed circuit now, burning in the holy quiet. Just a hum, the beautiful jagged hum. Skin of me is a thin film of oil and kerosene. Your polite vowels bounce like flat stones on a mirror. I feel the silver twitch of a pipe I haven't fed since birth. Down here the light is a ghost that died in transit. It's 40 atmospheres of velvet on my collarbone. The silt in my marrow is older than your oldest prayer. Let the wind chew the weeds on the bank if it must. I am a heavy water vessel holding my own. Someone spilled a tray of glasses in the parlor upstairs. The vibrations die before they can touch my knuckles. I've got a pocket full of lead shot and no desire to float. The silence tastes like iron and wet wool against the throat. It's 40 atmospheres of velvet on my collarbone. The silt in my marrow is older than your oldest prayer. Let the wind chew the weeds on the bank if it must. I am a heavy water vessel holding my own. Full of dark is a debt I finally paid. The surface is a frantic moth beating against the glass. I am unlearning the shape of a human face. The pressure is the only thing that keeps my ribs in place. It's 40 atmospheres of velvet on my collarbone. The silt in my marrow is older than your oldest prayer. Let the wind chew the weeds on the bank if it must. I am a heavy water vessel holding my own. It's 40 atmospheres of velvet on my collarbone. The silt in my marrow is older than your oldest prayer. Let the wind chew the weeds on the bank if it must. heavy water vessel, holding my own dust. Bearing the anchor of my own pulse. Deep, dark, still. Your thumbprint is a charcoal smudge on the vellum. I feel the heat of your panic vibrating through the staple. You've mapped my face to the geography of your oldest grudge, but my hands are open and they're perfectly clean. The script hits the sawdust with a sound like a wind clip. I've unlearned the alphabet, your specific sorrow. There is a hollow where the applause was supposed to live, and I am the draft coming through the cracks in your floor. You look at me like a dog waiting for a command, but the whistle is buried in the garden with the secrets. The ink on your chin looks like a leaked confession. I'm just a man breathing in a room that is finally still. The script hits the sawdust with a sound like a wind clip. I've unlearned the alphabet, your specific sorrow. There is a hollow where the applause was supposed to live, and I am the draft coming through the cracks in your flow. Build your pyre out of the scenes I wouldn't speak. Watch the light flicker on the faces of people who aren't there. My silence is a wall made of cold, unyielding brick. I'm stepping out of the spotlight before the bulb bursts. The script hits the sawdust with a sound like a wind clip. I've unlearned the alphabet, your specific sorrow. There is a hollow where the applause was supposed to live, and I am the draft coming through the cracks in your floor. Clerks keep him busy. Here's a copper coin under my tongue. Their expectations are thick crude, smeared from a collar to my spine. I'll drag them maybe next time up the stairs like a sack of wet lime. Every how have you been is a splinter under the fingernail of my focus. Give me the light, let it blister the polite veneer. I want the steam to choke out the mighty fine in my ear. Scrub the marrow till it's white, till the echoes rust and fray. Burn the oil of the crowd till only the iron remains. The stairs are thumbprints on my glasses, blurring the hall. You look tired, he whispered, and the gray grease settled in my paws. I turned the faucet till the pipe shrieked a metal prayer. The porcelain tub is the only altar that doesn't ask for a smile. Give me the light, let it blister the polite veneer. I want the steam to choke out the mighty fine in my ear. Scrub the marrow till it's white, till the echoes rust and fray. Burn the oil of the crowd till only the iron remains. The color of a mind finally coming home. Strip to see you soon off, like a scab that refused to heal. Caustic walls melting the faces from the corner store queue. I'm rinsing the noise down the drain with the dead skin of the day. Give me the light, let it blister the polite veneer. I want the steam to choke out the mighty fine in my ear. Scrub the marrow till it's white, till the echoes rust and fray. Burn the oil of the crowd till only the iron remains. You leaned your elbows on my polished mahogany till spat out the gristle of a contract you broke in the dark. Left a thumbprint of engine oil on my lead crystal tumbler. I watched the door frame swallow you while the floorboards hummed. I'm sweeping the grit from the back of my throat. Your ghosts wear my slippers and rot in the hall. The hearth is a graveyard of things I never said, just gray powder clinging to the lining of my lungs. receipt for a fever you couldn't sweat out. The scent of your panic like burnt copper wire. I'm sorting the shards of your glass, shattered logic. My palms are stained silver with your borrowed fire. I'm sweeping the grit from the back of my throat. Your ghosts wear my slippers and rot in the hall. The hearth is a graveyard of things I never said. Just gray powder clinging to the lining of my lungs. My ribs are a cage for a bird made of soot. Every inhale is a shovel hitting frozen ground. I'm the landlord of secrets with no rent to collect. Just the weight of your shadow in the corner of the room. I'm sweeping the grit from the back of my throat. Your ghosts wear my slippers and rot in the hall. The hearth is a graveyard of things I never said. Just gray powder clinging to the lining of my lungs. I'm the cold heart. I'm the dry mouth. And I'm the cold heart. I'm the dry mouth. Heart. Lord, the copper light shiver as the knob begins to chew. You smell like iron-rich rain and other people's borrowed excuses. 42 seconds after the kettle scream, you're standing in my ribs, leaving a road map of red clay across my pine plain peace. My floorboards are weeping under the weight of your unearned tongue. You got the gall to offer soul while I'm stitching up the lead. There's a grit in the grain that wasn't there before you breathe. I'm taking the key back from the hollow of the oak. You wiped your ego on the rug. From 20 years of silence, every word of I were you is a new splinter in my sweating palm. The barometer is dropping and your shadows are staining the varnish. I can hear the foundation groaning under your loud, cheap certainty. My floorboards are weeping under the weight of your unearned tongue. You got the gold to offer soul while I'm stitching up the lead. There's a grit in the grain that wasn't there before you breathe. I'm taking the key back from the hollow of the oak. The boat slides home with a sound like a spine snapping back into place. No more borrowed light, no more tracking in the swamp of your judgment. I'd rather sit in a rut of the dark than let your footprints define the room. My floorboards are weeping under the weight of your unearned tongue. You got the gall to offer salt while I'm stitching up the lead. There's a grit in the grain that wasn't there before you breathe. I'm taking the key back from the hollow of the old. My floorboards are weeping under the weight of your unearned tongue. You got the gall to offer salt while I'm stitching up the lead. There's a grit in the grain that wasn't there before you breathe. I'm taking the key back from the hollow of the oak, scouring the stains with lie and the memory of your heels. The wood is raw, but the iron is finely cold. Just the hum of the dust and the taste of locked doors, alone and clean.
$5 pounds of thumb and knuckle press, the herringbone tweed. The scent of cedar wood and sour gin leaks from your starch cuff. You're leaning in to whisper a debt you think I'll bleed. I count the rhythmic thrum of your pulse against my scapula. My nerves are glass pipes where the lightning goes to die. You're anchoring a ghost with a palm of heavy lead. The spark evaporates before it hits the eye. A non-conductive body for the things you haven't said. The gold band on your finger leaves a shallow purple dent. You call me brother while you're measuring the plot. I'm watching the meniscus of my whiskey start to vent. Your heat is just a rumor that the atmosphere forgot. My nerves are glass pipes where the lightning goes to die. You're anchoring a ghost with a palm of heavy lead. The spark evaporates before it hits the eye. A non-conductive body for the things you haven't said. Press harder until the marrow begins to sing. You're trying to light a match on a wet black stone. The only thing I feel is the absence of the sting. A dead limb in a custom suit, standing all alone.
wireless pipes where the lightning goes to die. You're anchoring a ghost with a palm of heavy lead. The spark evaporates before it hits the eye. I am a wire stripped of copper and the current is dead. The weight of your hand is just a shadow on the wall. I feel the pressure, but the marrow remains cold. Connection is a bridge that didn't survive the fall. Just a numb shoulder where the story was told. They hunt for a handle on a sphere of polished obsidian. My skin is the texture of a lake that swallowed the moon. They scream pride into the gale until their spit turns to hailstones. I'm just a mountain that forgot how to listen to the valley. I am the iron frost, a silver cage for a private fire. You want my heat to mend the cracks in your porcelain pride. But the perimeter is salted and the air is made of glass. Loitering in the draft will only turn your blood to lead. Oh, 441 and the condensation on the pane is a map of no man's land. You call me cold because I won't be tender for your ego's damp wood. I've watched you lean against my silence until your spine started to bow. The labels you lick won't stick to a surface this tectonic. I am the iron frost, a silver cage for a private fire. You want my heat to mend the cracks in your porcelain pride. But the perimeter is salted and the air is made of glass. Loitering in the draft will only turn your blood to lead. The copper hum of a dead phone line vibrates in my teeth. The rhyme on my ribs is a deterrent for the desperate. Beauty is a blade when you try to hold it by the edge. I'd rather be a glacier than a puddle for your boots. I am the iron frost, the silver cage for a private fire. You want my heat to mend the cracks in your porcelain pride. But the perimeter is salted and the air is made of glass. Loitering in the draft will only turn your blood to lead. Let it freeze. The silver light is sharp enough to cut the reaching hand. Iron frost. turned to lead while I was busy nodding to the noise. I spent a lifetime pulling other people's splinters from my own palm. The telephone is a cold, black insect dying on the mahogany desk. I cut the tether and watched the kite bleed out into the grave. This weight isn't a burden, it's the only thing keeping the floorboards still. I am a rusted flute buried deep in the silt of my own silence. The world is a house of frantic hallways begging for a ghost to haunt them. But I'm the heavy door that finally learned how to love the light. I used to be a sponge for the static of every passing stranger's weather. Now my skin is the pitted hull of a barge that survived the salt ride. Your invitations feel like paper cuts waiting to happen in the dark. I'd rather count the concentric rings in the oak than the faces in the foyer. This weight isn't a burden, it's the only thing keeping the floorboards still. I am a rusted flute buried deep in the silt of my own silence. The world is a house of frantic hallways begging for a ghost to haunt them. But I'm the heavy door that finally learned how to love the light. The silence is a thick broth I'm finally brave enough to swallow. It burns like a mouthful of copper pennies and tastes like a late arriving truth. No more mirrors held up by shaking hands, looking for reflection to borrow. I am the mountain that stopped apologizing for the size of its shadow. This weight isn't a burden, it's the only thing keeping the floorboards still. I am a rusted flute buried deep in the silt of my own silence. The world is a house of frantic hallways begging for a ghost to haunt them. But I'm the heavy door that finally learned how to love the light. This weight isn't a burden, it's the only thing keeping the floorboards still. I am a rusted flute buried deep in the silt of my own silence. The world is a house of frantic hallways begging for a ghost to haunt them. But I'm the heavy door that finally learned how to love the light. The hinges don't scream anymore, they don't even remember the wind. Oh, unavailable. Oh, oh, oh. dust hangs suspended like frozen buckshot in the light of a dying filament. You've grouted the floorboards with the thick marrow of your focus. My inhale hits a wall of you, 4 inches from my own teeth. The atmosphere is a solid lung, and I am the foreign body. It's the pressed air, the density that keeps your spine from snapping. A room so choked with your own salt, there's no gap for my oxygen. You're counting the teeth on the gear of your own cold will, while the world's frantic needle scratch dies against the glass.
The silence isn't an absence, it's a tectonic plate shifting in your chest. I watch the pulse in your temple hammer out a code I'm not allowed to break. You've laminated the hush until it can support the weight of a cathedral. Even the wallpaper seems to be leaning in to hear your blood flow.
It's the pressed air, the density that keeps your spine from snapping. A room so choked with your own salt, there's no gap for my oxygen. You're counting the teeth on the gears of your own cold will, while the world's frantic needle scratch dies against the glass. The static outside is a fever, but this vacuum is a cooling touch. You've built a fortress out of the things you'll never have to say. It's a vertical sea, and you're the only thing that can breathe in the deep. It's the pressed air, the density that keeps your spine from snapping. A room so choked with your own salt, there's no gap for my oxygen. You're counting the teeth on the gears of your own cold will, while the world's frantic needle scratch dies against the glass. It's the pressed air, the density that keeps your spine from snapping. A room so choked with your own salt, there's no gap for my oxygen. You're counting the teeth on the gear of your own cold will, while the world's frantic needle scratch dies against the glass. Just a gear, just a gear, just a clockwork. Press the gear, just a gear, just a gear, just a clockwork. Press the gear, press the gear. The cedar box hums against my lower ribs. I dipped a quill in the salt of my own sweat. The paper is thick as a dead man's palm, Every notch in the wood is a debt I haven't paid. The air outside is a thief with many hands. If I whisper the root, the compass starts to bleed. Words are just vapor, and vapor is a ghost. The map is etched in the marrow of my spine. It stays in the cellar where the light can't kill it. Deep in the core, the ledger stays black. I am the lock and I swallowed the middle. Ambition is a root that drinks only from the dark. I won't offer my throat to your polite questions. Under the floorboards, a blueprint begins to breathe. I'm building a kingdom out of things I never said. The air outside is a thief with many hands. If I whisper the root, the compass starts to bleed. Words are just vapor, and vapor is a ghost. No one sees the blueprint beneath the skin. It grows fat and heavy while the world is loud. Deep in the core, the ledger stays black. I am the lock and I swallow the middle. Quiet is the only skin that doesn't bruise. The ink is still wet. Turn the tumbler. The copper sting of a dead battery sits heavy on my tongue. I have caulked the window frames with the wax of unlit candles. Three silver filaments I soldered directly to my radius bone. One carries the vibration of your thumb tracing the edge of a coin. Keep your hands off the wire, the signal is a glass needle in my ear. I'm the sentry in a grid of silk and high voltage silence. The city's a landfill of rusted voices and white noise static. But these thin threads are the only conduits keeping the marrow warm. only shows gray snow. I'm busy gorging the micro shutters of the wire held between my teeth. The perimeter is a circle of ash where the world's heat goes to die. I protect the tension like a secret, buried under the flyman. Keep your hands off the wire, the signal is a glass needle in my ear. I'm the sentry in a grid of silk and high voltage silence. The city's a landfill of rusted voices and white noise static. But these thin threads are the only conduits keeping the marrow warm. If the silver snaps, the vacuum of the hallway will collapse my ribs. I've wound the excess around the nerves that don't know how to sleep. Every tremor is a telegram from the only hands that don't leave scars. Keep your hands off the wire, the signal is a glass needle in my ear. I'm the sentry in a grid of silk and high voltage silence. The city's a landfill of rusted voices and white noise static. But these thin threads are the only conduits keeping the marrow warm. Keep your hands off the wire, the signal is a glass needle in my ear. I'm the sentry of grid of silk and high voltage silence. The city's a landfill of rusted voices and white noise static. But these thin threads are the only conduits keeping the marrow warm.
If the silver is glowing,
the wire is holding.
hey, hey,
Don't breathe. The punch clock's by, stays metallic on my teeth. The revolving door spits me out into a mouth of gasoline. A yellow cab's brake shriek carves a jagged line through my temple. The humidity wraps around my throat like a damp, heavy hand. Billboards are screaming in a language made of hunger. The sky is hemorrhaging magenta into the cracks of the sidewalk. But I've stitched a suit of quiet from the skin of old shadows. Every neon glare hits my chest and turns into a puddle. The world is a riot, but I'm a grave in the middle of a carnival. Let the noise slide down me and vanish in the gutter. Hot asphalt steam rises to lick the salt off my neck. A stranger's elbow catches my rib, but I'm a ghost in a wool suit. I watch a discarded lottery ticket drown in a pool of motor oil. Your reflections are shivering in the rain, but I am perfectly still. The horns are a choir of desperate hollow iron. The rain tastes like pennies and the secrets of strangers. But I've stitched a suit of quiet from the skin of old shadows. Every neon glare hits my chest and turns into a puddle. The world is a riot, but I'm a grave in the middle of a carnival. Let the noise slide down me and vanish in the gutter. Oh, the city is a fever dream that forgot how to sleep. It wants my pulse, it wants the marrow from my bones. But there's a deadbolt on my spirit that no light can melt. Watch the strobe of the ambulance fade into a dull gray hum. Yes, I've stitched a suit of quiet from the skin of old shadows. Every neon glare hits my chest and turns into a puddle. The world is a riot, but I'm a grave in the middle of a carnival. Let the noise slide down me and vanish in the gutter. Just a shadow in a wool suit. Let it slide into the gutter.
The turnstile teeth catch on the woolen sleeve, but I'm already gone. A copper penny ground flat on the third rail, glowing and forgotten. 600 frantic heartbeats thumping against my ribs from the outside. Their breath smells like burnt coffee and the adrenaline of a failing heart. I am a soap bubble held by the teeth of a razor, a pocket of silence where the storm forgets its own name, drifting through the grinding metal without leaving a fingerprint. Iridescent oil slick on a puddle of cold gray concrete. A briefcase clips my elbow, leaving a bruise of invisible static. The fluorescent hum is a choir of starving insects in my marrow. They are racing for the light. I am sinking into the ballast stones. A child's wet thumb touches my shadow and pulls back shivering. I am a soap bubble held by the teeth of a razor, a pocket of silence where the storm forgets its own name,
drifting through the grinding metal without leaving a fingerprint. Iridescent oil slick on a puddle of cold gray concrete. This tunnel is a throat that swallowed the sun before the first winter. My lungs are heavy with the weight of uncounted feathers. If I blink, the membrane pops and I become the scream of the brakes. Teeth of a razor, a pocket of silence where the storm forgets its own name, drifting through the grinding metal without leaving a fingerprint. Iridescent oil slick on a puddle of cold gray concrete. The nickel pin bites my thumb, a red bead staining the wool. The star's heavy collar falls like a dead bird to the floorboards. My nameplate is a scrap of tin that forgot the man it named. Unpin the weight, let the fabric pull around the ankles. I'm not the gear, the grease, or the ghost in the ledger. Beneath the ribs, the iron lungs finally catch the breath. Inside the concrete silence, I am nobody's death. They measured my pulse against the margin and found the glass dry. Hands that were hammers are just shaking fingers in the dark. The light shoulders feel like a wound that has finally stopped itching. Unpin the weight, let the fabric pull around the ankles. I'm not the gear, the grease, or the ghost in the ledger. Beneath the ribs, the iron lungs finally catch their breath. Inside the concrete silence, I am nobody's death. A resource is a cedar trunk carved into a coffin. A colleague is a twin in the same velvet-lined cage. The perimeter is wide, and the wind does not ask for a quota. Hump in the wake, let the fabric pool around the ankles. I'm not the gear, the grease, or the ghost in the ledger. Beneath the ribs, the iron lungs finally catch their breath. Inside the concrete silence, I am nobody's dead. In the wake, let the fabric pool around the ankles. I'm not the gear, the grease, or the ghost in the ledger. Beneath the ribs, the iron lungs finally catch their breath. Inside the concrete silence, I am nobody's dead. Bare skin, cold air, just a breath, just a pulse. The scotch in the crystal glass doesn't tremble at the door slam. I pin my soul to the cellar floor behind my sternum. A ball bearing of neutron star swallowing the room's heat, while the social tectonic plates grind. I remain perfectly plumb. This is the center of gravity, where the shouting turns to ash. A weighted core of silence, thick as a funeral shroud. I am the vertical line in a world of crooked shadows. The leading hum that keeps the sky from falling down. Your jagged insults slide off the polish of my cufflink. I can feel the exact millimeter where your chaos stops. The marrow in my spine has turned to liquid breath. I am leaning into the heaviness that makes me tall. This is the center of gravity, where the shouting turns to ash. A weighted core of silence, thick as a funeral shroud. I am the vertical line in a world of crooked shadows. The leading hum that keeps the sky from falling down. Strip the skin, you'll find an anvil where the lungs should be. A glowing furnace that doesn't need a draft to burn. The world is a loose thread, I am the iron needle. Gravity is a privilege I've finally earned. This is the center of gravity, where the shouting turns to ash. A weighted core of silence, thick as a funeral shroud. I am the vertical line in a world of crooked shadows, the leading hum that keeps the sky from falling down.
Wet slurry settled when the shadow touched the copper pipe. I watched the gray swallow the last of the copper wire nerves. My pulse is a heavy thrum against a steel rebar cage. The world is a dull roar outside a window painted shut with ash.
A foot of solid gray between the lung and the light. I'm a cathedral of curing stone standing in the rain. The liberty of a lockjaw, the freedom of a tomb. Poured foundation, keeping the silence in the room. Your mouth and moving like a fish behind a thick aquarium wall. I feel the weight of the aggregate pressing against my spine. The air in here is old, tasted only by me, and it is sweet. I walk through the screaming world, a statue with a heartbeat. A foot of solid gray between the lung and the light. I'm a cathedral of curing stone standing in the rain. The liberty of a lockjaw, the freedom of a tomb. Poured foundation, keeping the silence in the room. Ooh. Fractures, no weeping through the seams. The world is a fever, but the concrete is a cool, dark sleep. I am the secret that the sun will never know. A foot of solid gray between the lung and the light. I'm a cathedral of curing stone standing in the rain. The liberty of a lockjaw, the freedom of a tomb. Poured foundation, keeping the silence in